Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to another amazing episode of it says Crypto Daily. It should be Memecoin Daily, but welcome to another Mario Nawfal and Roundtable Spaces. David, what's going on, man? How you feeling today? How we doing?
Oh, K2, I'm feeling great. I got my nightly 3 hours of sleep since this is Web3. Things are fast paced. I feel guilty even sleeping 3 hours, but I'm coming back down to reality after the crazy run I've had with tampons. I don't know, like that just had me a little euphoric. Never thought that I would be making money off of tampons, but things happen in this industry that you never see coming.
I mean, that honestly, that is something that's really difficult to do is like have a rational conversation with people as to like how we make money in this space. You know what I mean? I think that that is an interesting thing. Like explaining to people how my career in crypto started as a result of a dog token um named after a dog that Elon Musk was going to purchase and now owns. Um it just everything that kind of happens in this space is completely ridiculous. Like for example, last week you and I hosted Caitlyn Jenner on the space and like explaining to my friends that I'm like, yeah, I was just hanging out on X interviewing Caitlyn Jenner. Um it sounds larger than life. Um yeah, and that's it doesn't really make sense. Like David, like do you often find yourself like in that predicament?
Oh, K2, absolutely. And I was just thinking about it, saying that I was interviewing Caitlyn Jenner, spent 8 hours talking to Martin Shkreli, and then watching imaginary internet money go from zero to millions and back down to zero in the span of 6 seconds, and then saying that I make 5x my money off of tampons. If I tell that to a normal person, 50-50, they may call the cops on me.
Yeah, what's even crazier is so it's like I am a real person outside of X and I have businesses that don't relate to crypto. And one of my companies is a real estate investment company. We do a multitude of different things, but one of the things that we do is we fix houses up and we sell them. And so like I'm talking to one of the agents that's selling the property, and it's just amazing at like the things that they're stressing out about. And like we're talking about money in a much different manner. I'm like, wow, I'm getting like worked up over the numbers on this deal, yet in relation to crypto, I'm like, wait a second, I've lost more money and made more money in a much shorter window of time than we're talking about. Like we're talking about how just terrible the real estate market is. It's just a pain in the ass right now. It just very left brain, right brain kind of things. It doesn't, it's um our world makes no sense. None, zero logical sense. And anybody who tries to explain to me that it is logical, um, wholeheartedly disagree.
See, K2, what that thought right there, that mindset, that is the exact mindset that you need to trade meme coins. When you see something makes absolutely zero sense, that's what is supposed to click and tell you that it makes sense.
Well, I mean, exactly. It's like explaining to someone how and why you have conviction around a certain meme coin project defies absolutely all logic. It's like
It,
I'm
it's
going.
it's like you got to counter trade yourself. You got to counter trade your logical thoughts.
It's so true because essentially the way that the conversation goes is like I'm going to explain to you why I believe in this project and you're not allowed to ask me any questions because you're going to ask me questions that require logical responses and I refuse to give them to you. That's just
Yeah,
how
you
it
ask
goes.
for the source, and the source says, "Trust me, bro."
Absolutely. So 4N4L. What's up?
Hey guys, hi David, hi K2, long time no see.
I
Hi Bob,
know. It's been a
Gorilla.
minute. How
Oh
you
my
been?
god, you remember me? What the heck?
Of
Hi,
course.
and hello to Mario Novel Roundtable or Novels Roundtable. Let's go. Anyways, I am here to say to David and K2, get a room. Just kidding. We're in the room. Okay. Anyways,
No, we're all in the room together. No, we're
yeah,
all in
that's
the room
right.
together. We got the room.
All
We're all in the room together.
right. All thousand. Is a space botted or something? Like, there's 1,000 people here, really?
Well, careful what you say. You never know. You're on crypto Twitter.
That's true. That's true. Anyways, I'm here for gold standard ETH. I'm sorry to Addison who made my gold circle ring around my profile picture. I had to change it because the Dogenals, who are freaking Rutgers guys, just kidding. I love you. I love you, Dogenals.
Whoa, that was
Just kidding.
harsh. Something
Sorry. I
going on
love you.
there?
I love you. I am repping a Dogenal right now. But
Okay.
yeah. I'm here for gold standard. Even though I'm broken ETH, I only have $13 worth of ETH right now. But I love you guys. Love.
Good. I
At
can't wait.
least we're at a point in the cycle where you can get more than half of a transaction off of $13 in ETH. I mean, that's definitely bullish.
We're in better. We're definitely in a better time. We'll kick it over to Minx. Minx, are you gonna tell us the government's coming for our crypto again? Because I don't know if we can handle this one more time.
No, I'm not going to say that, but I was going to
That's
actually
fair.
chime in when you were talking about, how do you explain to your family and friends about crypto? Because I won't even tell my friends.
Oh,
Um,
are you closeted? Are you a closet meme
I'm a
coin?
closeted OnlyFans model, Minx.
oh, okay. Well, um, yeah, I am closeted because how do I
Link in bio.
explain it? How do I explain it to them? How do I explain, like, especially like what I've gone through, like with the projects and stuff, and being scammed and all of that. Like, but at the end of at the same time, like I've had connections with like Iggy Azalea and all sorts of like former football and basketball players like Deshaun Jackson, Larry Sanders, and stuff. It's like, how do you like put this whole thing together to make sense? It doesn't make sense, but it's interesting because this you don't get these connections and this kind of or any of this through like traditional markets. Like I trade traditional markets majority of the time, so I just kind of wanted to jump in on that.
No, it's so true. I mean, like obviously you have to take the approach that some people do, and it's you have to show up to family events and rented Lambos and then say that you own it. Like there's a certain leaning in that you have to do. It's just like it's crypto and meme coins especially are I'm not going to tell you that I trade meme coins, but there will be signs. And what those signs are is you show up to family events with a rented Lambo, but you stay on a friend's couch. Okay? Like there's a balance that goes on here. You don't have enough money to afford your own place. You have just enough money to spend $1,800 to $2,000 a day on a Lamborghini, which is okay. Um, as long as you have, some of your homies places that you can stay at, which ironically is probably not even their place. They are just staying in one of the spare rooms that happens to have a couch for you to stay. Um,
K2, this is the most incredible narrative for a meme coin. Oh
sure.
my god! Oh my! You make videos like this, and K2, this is a 9-figure project right here. I would ape in. I would personally ape in.
Exactly.
Wait, what kind
K2,
of
what's
videos are we
going
talking
on?
about? Yeah, what
What's up,
videos are we talking
Gorilla?
about?
Grill Blanco in the house, 5-time USA World Team member, former Olympic wrestler, professional wrestler for the Hart Foundation, Brett the Hitman Hart's family. Best there is, best
Dang.
there was, best there ever will be. And let me tell you something. I thought I was going to dial it down when I left professional wrestling for crypto. I thought, you know what? The politics in the back can't get any worse. The scripting can't get any worse. I mean, we're about to go from a predetermined showcase to a player versus player showcase. Let's get back to the old times like the Olympic wrestling where we're following a set of rules. And I'll tell you this right now, meme coins, they pro wrestling doesn't hold a candle to the ridiculousness that we have in the meme coins in the trenches nowadays. Traveling the world, crashing couches, renting Lambos, hanging at
Mhm.
strip clubs. I mean, like that's just a typical crypto NFT conference. We are
It's
styling and profiling in the
Gorilla. I've
space.
I've got a serious question, K2. Like a lot is right. Gorilla, Bo Nickel or Hamzat Shemaev?
Oh, Bo Nickel for sure. Bo
Bro,
Nickel's the truth.
no! No, all
Known
right.
known,
I
known him
will.
for a long
I'll
time.
I'll take those bets.
You
You and
need to
K
bet
two.
on the ones with EV in the last name. If
I,
they
I
have Shemaev,
I
Ayev,
normally
EF.
bet on consonants, and I don't fade the Beards or the Dagestanis. I'm there with you, but I'm telling you, Bo Nickel is the real deal. He's been training hard with Penn State ATT team. He's a Kale Sanderson byproduct, and he's been legit since he was a high schooler out of Texas. Came to the Arizona State wrestling camp when I was coaching there. This kid is phenomenal. He's a game changer.
You tell
Wait,
me
boys and gals.
he's the next great American hope. He's
He,
the
he's our generation's
anti-Dagestani.
Matt
All
Hughes.
right. Well, then Dana might not let them fight because Hamzat Shemaev is a rugger, which means he is a monster, demon traits.
You
Oh.
know, when Hulk Hogan dropped the big boot on us, I was so glad I was
Bro,
asleep.
I did not read the mustache
half of
chart. That
us
was my
on
fault.
this half of us on the stage are currently lost in this cabal conversation. The real question is OnlyFans, foreign for alls, OnlyFans, or porn? That's the real question. Just kidding. Let me shut the fuck up.
Listen, I've made
Are
more
those
money than you in
tickers?
my underwear than probably most people have on stage. So I feel completely at home in the OnlyFans conversation. I feel completely at home talking about these crypto streets. Used to make it around the polls. We just had ropes around them. But let's go. We got some great tickers up here. Gold Standard ETH. I'm loving the metal meta. And I got to shout out, speaking of like the meta, have you guys seen this Goyu that came out? It's like a dog and Nero. It ripped yesterday. Like, wildest ride. Totally acoustic, like you guys were saying. It's like Chinese dog, Chinese like dogs, maybe for dinner, maybe for pets. I don't know. But it's going to run. It's one of those things, though. I don't know if you felt about tampons. You always get this buyer's remorse.
Oh,
You wish you threw in
we
more.
did. I'm a tampon
David faded
expert now.
tampons. David went hard
And it's
on
the
tampons,
opposite. He
faded
didn't go
tampons.
hard.
What's that, Matthew?
He went hard on tampons. He went really hard. And we
Did
were
you,
talking
Ethan?
about
Oh,
how
guys, I
Congratulations.
he
unloaded the
did.
clip on the tampons.
I would have seen it though. That's the thing though. This goes back to like I'm telling you from the pro wrestling standpoint. If the crowd is going to react to whatever gives them a pop, if you feel that pop when you look at the chart where you see that name and something in you just gives you that suspension of disbelief where you get a hair of excitement, you got to go with that flow. That's that part of your brain, the degen brain, that's going to run with it. That's why I think so many people in this space are just a bunch of big little kids, but that's who are successful in it, is because you gotta turn off your logic. You just gotta turn on your energy. If you feel the vibe, if you feel the excitement, you gotta go with it. We're trading transfers of excitement and meme coins. One person thinks it's more exciting than you, they buy. One person thinks it's less exciting than you, they sell. You got to get tuned in with the excitement. If you get tuned in with that, you're going to be successful in this industry.
Oh,
God,
that's a banger take. You are literally trading with your own spidey senses.
you know what? Like, I kind of want to like. I think from now on, I'm gonna open the spaces with the "Good morning, former millionaires." I think that's the most meme coin daily way to start a space. Is not future millionaires, former millionaires, because we've all got wrecked, and that's why we're showing up. Banksy, what's good?
Well, no, I'll just go back to the other conversation before. No, this is definitely such a strange place. I think the funniest day was getting followed by Joe Exotic, John Cena, and Drake Bell in the same day. It's just the weirdest things could happen in this space. We're making money off of trading meme coins. Like back in the day, like I had Memecoin, it was like Flat Earth. Like we're talking about Flat Earth making money. We're up here talking about meme coins. We're talking about I agree. I also second what Gorilla was saying. I'm liking this dog coin.
Yeah, go you.
I
I'm
think that's
seeing.
racist. That is definitely racist.
How's it racist? Dogs help people who are blind. Are you against blind people? Like dogs are
No,
literally.
gorilla. Okay, what I heard from you is about Chinese dog. I'm actually Taiwanese, Chinese, Korean. So like, what the heck? What the
Wait,
heck?
but
Tell me
what if
more.
it like? How is it racist if it is a Chinese dog?
Oh, a Chinese.
Or if it's
Gao
Chinese culture to
is
eat a dog.
literally dog in Chinese. Gao.
It's actually go.
I stand corrected.
Is that the one
Yeah.
GOU? Oh man,
It's
GOU.
someone
Yeah,
live.
text
David.
bro K2. Someone texted me that ticker Oh man, I gotta
It's
I
caballing
was
out. I was
focused
going
on
to
the
jump in. It's still
tampons.
I mean, the
looking
Wait,
good.
problem
so
is
gorilla is
the
GOU? Is that like a Chinese dog, or are we just talking about like a
it,
generic dog?
no,
It's
Shiba.
actually Doge's nephew. It's Nero's son, and that's her story. We're sticking with it. You know,
All right.
kayfabe is real, and for those of you who don't know what kayfabe means, that's a suspension of belief in a storyline, and we're gonna follow kayfabe here. So, Doge's nephew, Nero's son, is the meta right now. Other than gold standard, you can't beat meta. I mean, even Peter Schiff would have to tip his hat to something like gold
Yeah.
standard.
Wait,
That's
pause.
fire.
Oh, sounds
Casper's
like
appeared.
they got DNA verification and it's on Ancestry.com.
And
Jahan,
chipped.
Yo, yo,
Wait,
checking
yo.
the
Casper.
boxes.
Casper, I have beef with you. I'm sorry, David and K2 and Mario, but we have beef. We blocked each other.
That's hot.
Dog,
Yeah, I mean,
beef. Like,
you're pretty racist, but
what
we
are we
might get
doing
along
up
now.
here? Jahan, go for it.
Yo, hey, Gorilla Blanco, dude. That's a fucking hot take. And shout out to another grappler. Although nothing quite like you. I just yucked it out in D3. But dude, this is the process oriented people. They're so fucked. They are so fucked. The process oriented brain people. Let me explain to you why. I've been on multiple calls. Like I have my DJing life, but I actually like work on the serious side of this business sometimes. And I've had multiple projects come to me in the last couple of weeks asking about this meme thing, right? How do they tap into it? And the first orientation is how do we add this to our content calendar? Dude, I'm telling you, it's that it's going to it's going to rock people. You have to, it's trading energy. And if you're not moving with the emotive part of your brain to a degree, and I know this flies in the face of every single technical trader that's probably listening to me right now.
Minx, cover your ears. Minx, cover your ears.
However, you can marry that up and see some of that on the chart, right? So the more you try to have the project make sense, the more pain you're probably going to fucking experience. And that's actually part of the fuel.
That's why we ride this ride. We love the lightning.
The saying "make it make sense" is one big psyop, guys.
Oh man, we'll go AK then Casper.
I tried to turn my logic off.
Did you have an
thinking
aneurysm?
get rich.
Blow blood from the ear?
Well, that's what they told me, right? They said, "Hey, turn your
Yep.
logic off. You're going to get 100x." So I did, and then I got
Ouch.
rugged. So now I'm figuring out: do I look at it with logic? Do I look at it with no logic? Do I believe? Do I not believe? I'm coming off of a fresh rug. This is my second attempt in the market. Now I am coming back with a vengeance. I just loaded up a fresh big wallet, and I'm ready to go on the pounce. I'm going to give the meme world 20 tries. Okay, I'm 0 for 2. I'm going to give it 20 tries. One of those 20 needs to hit because that's the law of averages, correct? But if I go 0 for 20 and I squander this 20 grand, I'm never looking at memes ever
Yeah,
again.
no.
I used to use that logic at the bars at
Do you
Arizona
know?
State
Do you know how
University.
many times?
But
Do you know how many times I said that this was the last 20K I'm firing into memes? A lot. Okay, so I appreciate your sensibility on there. Throw it out the window. You'll be back. They always come back.
You know
One
how the saying goes is this is the last 20K until it goes to 0 and I get a refill.
exactly.
then I gotta
I
call my
gotta top it
lender.
up. I gotta top it up. It's like a crazy night at 11. You know what I'm saying? You always have enough to top it back up.
There's no margin call in crypto. It just goes to 0.
Exactly. And then it goes back up with money that I don't have. Casper, it's good, man.
Retweet the space. I actually have a really crazy story. It's all relevant to what you're talking about. AK, hey, TQ is the one who rugged you. I told you all what I'm on. You guys thought I was joking. That was I went 1 for 1 against him. But here's the deal: if someone tells you that they have conviction and they will never quit a token, and it's someone that you believe really does have that conviction, you don't sell when you have dust. Because did you see that was a shakeout? Very clearly, and there's a reason it came. First off, Mario, thank you so much for having me. David, K2, you're back to being one of my favorite people. This was the craziest couple days in my life, and I performed the most elite, next level shill that anyone in here has ever done. I proved, I mean, I already knew, but I showed that you can put me anywhere against someone else, and the show that can come will just be next level. First off, has anyone seen the white power spaces lately?
No.
Thank goodness you haven't. Well, they're this new thing on X, and it's whites only, white power, and the other stuff that they say. This is not a place that I would ever
No.
be at. Like I
No.
really wouldn't because it's that bad. First off, they're getting ready for a race
No, we
war.
don't want that.
They're trying to stop Bitcoin.
We don't
Huh?
want that. I don't want race war. Like this is. I'm all about inclusivity, man.
Yeah, why can't
Why
we
would
just
anyone
get
want
back to
it?
dogs versus cats?
Why
Because
does
this is
that
happening in our
relate to my
backyard.
bag going to zero?
Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly why. Okay, I'll speed it up. I was helping with a launch for a member of the RNC in Florida, actually the head of it. And very simple deal. He's a friend of mine, whole Bitcoiner. He'd been working on the launch for months. And he hit me up a couple hours before the launch, said, "Can I give you $1,000 of my tokens to do a launch space?" I said, "Sure, that's fine. We're friends." And I believed in him, right? He was, I thought, a really cool guy. So, of course, if it's tokens and you believe in him, I just told him, I don't even need those today. I don't even want them today. I would never
All right,
sell
well,
these. So
TQ,
I'm
that's
bullish on
that's
them.
where you messed up. Like we got the blockchain. You don't have to believe anybody. You look at the ones and zeros.
Wait, what's TQ? Is that a
I
person?
don't know. That's
Top quality. That's me.
Casper
Oh,
TQ. All right, let's get to
cool.
some
Casper's
hands.
dead.
Matthew, I want to send it over to you.
Okay.
I was getting mesmerized really quick. Let's keep this one going. Matthew, go ahead.
It's easy to get mesmerized in the space, dude. There are so many things happening at any one time. And unless you've round trips several bags, you can't be unloading clips. When you can't get up to like 10K, just move to another place. At 10K, it's like $3. And then you're going to feel happy about this. That's what I would say. I think, this space is always watching. There are always new things on the timeline. If you have heard about it before, it's probably too late. But it's actually not because most of the time when you hear about it and everyone's like, this is something we paid, that's the point where the round trip actually has kicked off. Everyone who knew about it first has already round tripped that coin. It's probably about the time that you buy in because as soon as people are talking about it on the timeline, everyone's going to say, like, that's not a point to buy in. It's probably wise to buy in at that point. Don't trust me. I missed out on like Pepe. I got in super mega fucking early and then lost a 2 million bag with a 5x instead of like whatever it was going to become. So, not financial advice, but you can still jump in on random shit and unload your clips, lads.
I mean, that makes I think we've all got. I mean, like that's the interesting thing when it comes to fading bags early and getting upset because you missed out. Like a 5x, most sensible human beings are going to sell at a 5x. They're going to sell at a 10x. They're going to sell at a 20x. Like if we had this level of forethought, uh, we'd all be billionaires. But that's just not how this game is played. Like that's just that's my thing. So, AK, I feel you in terms of, what you go.
I'm itching, dude. I'm itching. Like you guys got me
Okay,
hooked on
it'll
this
be
right now.
okay. I
I'm
mean,
just
I keep telling Minx the same thing. It's okay. This is a toxic relationship worth getting back into. It's fine. So, Minx, what's good?
AK, bust out the Benadryl and the whiskey.
Hell yeah. What's up?
I was gonna say, you were talking about like 5x to it, whatever it is. I have trouble selling my crypto. I've had gains like 74x and I wouldn't sell. So it's an interesting concept, I think, that you bring up though. Like when should we start to take our profits in crypto? Because to me, like I don't know. They're meme coins, I know, but when I believe in a project, I believe it can really go, and I think that's kind of where my weakness is when it comes to some of these meme coins.
You know, I'm just gonna quote somebody who was giving me advice today on trading, and they're like, walk away when you're green or even red, have rules. It sounds like you need rules
if
for meme coin
if you
trading.
think about taking profit, you need to take
If you're
profit.
down to
If it
screenshot it, you
not
should be
comes
down to
to your
sell it.
mind,
That's my rule. If you're down to screenshot it, you should be down to
You
sell
do
it.
realize that
Follow
I'm
that rule.
screenshotting when I'm down
absolutely,
99%. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
absolutely.
I'm
When I'm
screenshotting
down
it.
99%, I'm not screenshotting that one.
By the way, Gorilla, shout out, big time wrestler. I wrestled for Team Canada for 1 year. Not obviously on your caliber, but I
Oh no,
love
I came through
wrestling.
the
And
Manitoba Open, and we used to tour Calgary Hitman Arena a lot. Back
nice.
alley, did plenty of house shows.
I'll tell you one thing. I got my ass kicked by the Americans.
Oh, so let
Okay,
me ask
we
AK
came
the
to the
same
U.S.
question. Bo Nickel, Hamzat Chimaev. Who's getting that one? UFC, not wrestling.
I like Dagestanis, man. I'm a big fan of the Dagestanis. Or I guess I don't know if he is originally Dagestani or not.
I think he is.
Chimaev,
I
but
know
he's a beast.
Oh, he's
Dagestani and
Daggy.
Sweden, now Dubai.
Yeah, I just
Actually,
can't go
Chechen.
against that momentum, man. Those guys are all built different. I'm not a huge UFC fan. Like I'm a wrestler first, but definitely Shemaev is just a fucking force to be reckoned with, man. The guy's a scary looking guy.
Yep, I've made more off of Habib, Islam, and Hamzat than I have off of every meme coin minus tampon.
This is
Man,
true.
tampons. I made more off of tampons than Habib. That's sad. Well, bullish and sad. I don't know. Some
David
meme
walked
in
me
there.
through his betting logic once when it came to the Dagestanis, and then when I got to witness his level of conviction in the Dagestanis to win, um, it is impressive. I won't go into detail because maybe that's just a bit too personal, but I remember sitting in my living room going, Jesus Christ, this man's going to be homeless if this guy loses. And the interesting thing in this scenario, like this is the level of conviction, is that he fired on was it in Islam, right? Islam
Yeah.
to win by some like win in less than 5 rounds. And this is when he chokes him out, Poirier out with what, 30 seconds left?
Oh, bro, it was the middle of the fourth round.
Oh,
That one was
The
nerve
best
wracking.
part
That one
is,
was like watching. That was like watching the meme coin charts.
and he went to his like fourth grade favorite move. That was my favorite part. He got tired. He's like, I'm just ready to get out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little leg swing and then
Dude,
choke him out, like just bully him.
the
Look,
most
I
I
use
But
the same spidey senses when it comes to picking UFC fights that I use with meme coins.
it was the craziest thing because it was like because David, we were like it was just like during consensus, and so like he made the bet while he was at my house, and then he flew back to Miami. But like I was like screaming in my house as if I'm the one that like bet money. Like I'm not touching that shit. I'm not doing it. But then all of a sudden, like it hit, and I was like, holy shit! Like it was wild. Like I made sure to hit David up right away because like at that point the cops were already at David's house from yelling and screaming and things.
did you guys make it out to the karate combat when you're out at consensus?
No, no. David,
If
why
you
don't
need the plug, hit me up. I'll get you guys on the list for the next ones. Work with
are they
them
doing one
too.
in 24? Are they doing one in Singapore?
I'm pretty
Yes, they
sure.
are absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. We're
Yeah, holla at me.
definitely we will be there. K2 and David will be there going strong in Singapore. So you can bet that. David said that he will fight any and all comers. Just whatever
Oh
at
no, K2, they
2039.
got to send me a contract for that one.
No, David will sign the contract before each fight. He doesn't care.
Full
That's what
send into some meme coin.
absolutely, Roadhouse style. Um, is basically how like kind of like what Post Malone's character in the new Roadhouse, how he was just taking all comers. That's gonna be David. That's gonna be David. Before we dive into it, what runners do we have today? Any any new we don't have Gigi here, but like what are people looking at right now?
I
I'm
mean,
telling you,
since
Gal.
yesterday, a lot of
Gal. So we
coins
got
are up.
Gal.
Gal's
We got
hot.
Gal. But oh, you know who we have up here? Block. Who's who's pumping your
Who's
bags,
paid
man?
you?
Who's paid you? Who's paid you? You know you can't get out of it, Can't escape me, bro.
Oh
You
my.
can't escape.
Actually, there is nothing on the agenda for today. To be honest, I'm gonna tell you. Some days it's dry. Right now we're kind of in a desert at the moment. At least I am. Maybe outside of my purview. Uh, yeah, outside my purview there might be something, but I have not seen anything that I really like today. And what I mean by that, I don't mean looking on Photon at new pairs, looking at new pairs. I mean no one's jumped in my DMs or responded back to my DMs in order to pay me to like something. So unfortunately, I haven't found anything today. Sorry guys to let you down.
Oh man, you know what? I've actually been thinking, like, since I am a tampon mogul now, I was considering some more fiscal responsibility moves, and I'm looking at wallets with more than 69 tokens in each of them, multiple wallets, and I was thinking about consolidating and just sticking with maybe 10 or so meme coins and riding that out. Like, is anyone else feeling similar vibes? I got to thinking this and feeling this way after seeing all of the hate and all of the just the tokens being launched on Pump Fun and these other platforms not really performing as well as they have in the past. And it's like when you see things like that, they typically don't get better. I mean, it to me, this is a degen version of buy the rumor, sell the news.
Dang, man. Hearing you say that, like, you're kind of like the face of the space, man.
K2, I'm a tampon mogul now. Like I am in a different class of
You
entrepreneurship.
need
What
you
happened to
need
the
to
shoes?
you
I'm
you
waiting
need
for
to
my
update your
card.
bio and just say tampon millionaire. I think that would be probably one of the most incredible things ever. But Chonky, what are we looking at today, man?
I was actually going to ask David that question, K2, because I'm here for the word meta, and
Oh,
yeah, I'm
mm.
here for the word meta. I just got off my second to the last call of the day. I got Polymarket pulled up, Photon pulled up. And I have got a grand total of 0.8201 Solana left to piss away, and I need David to hook it up. Block's failing us. Need David to hook it up.
Oh man, well I do happen to be a wordsmith and a word alpha caller, but I'm saving these. I'm trying to figure out the best way to start putting them on Twitter. I was looking at these articles, so I don't know. Maybe we'll do something like that at some of these meme coin spaces every week. We'll do word. We'll play Scrabble.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
But I do have a lot several meme coins that I picked. I mean, all of them are, I'm just trying to avoid anything under a certain market cap and really focus on what I think is going to be here 6 months from now. Like there's a lot going on in other ecosystems. I don't want to only be looking at some of these charts 24/7, which I kind of do. And then I look at other stuff a little bit when it should be the opposite.
What do you mean? Tell us more.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're in the crypto and blockchain industry. Meme coins are amazing. Meme coins are fun. That's where all the attention is. But I don't think it's going to be that way forever. And I want to make sure that when that does happen, I'm not trying to play catch up. Like I think that's what these spaces are all about. Like we need to talk about what's going on, but also be looking towards the future and talking to everybody about what they think.
I mean, that's very fair. But I mean, like I think we're in an interesting spot right now. I think everyone talked about how August was going to be a slow month. And I mean, really, we're kind of lacking a meta right now. We're just kind of aimlessly wandering through the month and waiting for September to come. I think September is going to get pretty nutty. I'm just curious to see what's going to pop off because it's again, dogs. We got Go, but it's not a huge runner, right? It's like it hasn't asserted itself as dominant yet. I'm even looking at like Nero on ETH, which is one that I keep an eye on, and man, that one's even just it's down bad today. Um, even our go-tos like Block, who gets paid by literally every project. It's like, do projects not even have the money to pay anymore? Like, what's going on? Banksy, bail us out, man. What's going on?
Oh yeah, have you guys seen that Sato coin or SATO?
Not
Doc was posting about that earlier. It's kind of ripping.
Sato coin. All right, let's pull this up. Let's see what we can find here. Is it on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko?
It's on ETH.
All right, like man, there's so many different ones. Like I'm seeing Sato Shiba, Satoru Inu, Satoshi Crypto. Oh, there we go. Sato, got it. 29 million. Whoa, Ripper. Um, is that the one you're talking about? Right? $29 million market cap, 13 points.
It's OX5D on the
Yep.
on the
Uh-huh.
scale.
Wow. That's a good one. What do you know? Like, what do you know about it? Tell me more about it.
I don't know much. Doc's just been posting it all day and been writing it, so been watching on it.
Anybody else down here know about Sato? Anybody? Going once, going twice, nothing.
It's
David.
got 4 letters. It is a word. It is the word, K2.
You know, David, why don't you reset us and then we'll get into a project that is worth talking about, and that is the guys at Gold Standard ETH.
Everybody, we appreciate you coming out. Always love Memecoin Daily Spaces, making sure that we talk about the important things happening on planet Earth, according to Elon and
Earth,
K2, who
David.
sounded like Trump yesterday. But
Earth.
everybody, we appreciate you coming out. We're going to dive into it with Gold Standard ETH. Love what they're doing. Love the logo. Any questions you guys have, anything you want me and K2 to throw at these guys, drop it in the bottom right. We're going to be scanning through the comments. Retweet the space, follow all the speakers, and make sure that you tune in to Memecoin Daily every weekday, 3 to 4 p.m. EST, where we talk about the most important topics happening in the world today. Gold Standard ETH, I want to throw it over to you guys. Thanks for joining us, being part of this space. Give us a little intro to you.
Yeah, thanks guys for having us up. He's got the intro song. So the devs stay anonymous, but we managed to get the account up here. So yeah, Gold Standard ETH. It's a project on Ethereum. It's got kind of the gold narrative, as you can see. It's kind of an interesting blend of the financial aspect, really clever tokenomics, a deflation mechanism that that is true deflation from circulating supply. And it combines memetics pretty well in the sense of everything, can have a touch of gold. Everything, it's relatable to everything. So it captivates an audience in that sense. And it's kind of the community that rallied behind it really sees what it's capable of in terms of reaching most sectors of the market and not just being stuck in a niche of crypto Twitter, which is kind of where a lot of projects get stuck in. When you go to bed and you wake up, it's nice to have a project that has a little bit more exposure, so you don't have that Solana effect of what you guys were talking about earlier. So a couple things about Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was love that. Like I like a good narrative. I like seeing things that are moving. And why did you guys choose to do this on Ethereum with Solana being one of the main, chains that people are looking for when it comes to meme coins?
Probably because they have a community with conviction. Sorry.
No, you nailed it. Like Solana plays are fun, but it still has that degen. Like we're all kind of degens in this space, but on Solana, you're a true degen, and it doesn't seem to have the holding power yet. It's my belief that the liquidity we all know is on ETH. It's really on Bitcoin, but it flows into ETH as well. Liquidity on Solana is there, but I just don't think it's to the level of ETH, and I think it's more of a quick onboarding. You can play with a lot less. But on Ethereum with Gwei hitting 1 or even below 1 recently, it doesn't take as much to play on Ethereum, which I think makes it a little bit more competitive to Solana with some of the L2s coming also. I think Solana gets there, down the road. We'll see where the ETFs go, but we chose Ethereum for that reason. If you want to have essentially a speculative reserve asset just tied to gold, Ethereum's it, right? It's also difficult to make on Bitcoin, so you wouldn't want to do that, and nobody's going to replace Bitcoin, right? It's the king. So Ethereum was kind of the natural choice for the project, and I think they made the right move on it.
I mean, that definitely makes a lot of sense. So, is there a relationship between your guys' project and gold, or what's the whole?
No, there's some utility options coming up, which I would like to talk about that kind of at the end. There's not. We don't want to give too much of that away right now, but it's speculative. It's meant to be like a representation of gold. And the unique thing on this is actually the limited supply. Whereas like gold can be mined, gold can be found. This token cannot. So there's 9,999 supply. It's capped. It's limited. There's no allocations. It will never be more than that. The other unique thing is it's actually deflationary, and it's deflationary through a burning mechanism that they keep kind of as a mystery. By that, I mean, they don't tell you how it works, but it's essentially a buy and burn where they're buying it up from the V2 liquidity pool and they're burning it from circulating supply. So if you understand deflation, you'll know that, say, in this project, the dev team holds 7.77% of the supply. This whole token is also themed around 777. But as they do a buy and burn, they're pulling it from the V2 supply, which is actually circulating. And every time one of those is burned, it's never coming back, right? So it's burned in bars, not in USD value. So the most recent burn, I think, was 33 bar. One before that was 77 bar. And it's about $8.50 per bar. And those are forever removed from the supply. So as that burn address grows and as supply in the V2 pool decreases, you kind of get a compounding effect, which is a supply shock situation. So if you're into tokenomics, that's a really clever setup, as opposed to somebody, I don't want to call like Andrew Tate out or anything, but if you just own a big amount of supply and it was in a dev wallet and you burn it, that supply was never circulating. It's a good effect, but it doesn't affect what kind of, it doesn't affect you as much unless it was going to be introduced later, which would be the inflation, kind of the opposite of it. So this project's doing deflation kind of, in my opinion, the way it should be done, that a lot of guys miss. It's not like a vanity point, it's an actual removal of supply that you can no longer buy. And to date, the dead wallet, so this project's only like 22 days in, just about, and 8% of the supply has been burned. So the team holds 7.77%. Just under 1 million tokens, and 8% of that is gone forever from what was in the pool. And there's only about 5% of the supply remaining in the V2 pool. In post-launch, it ran up to about 34 million market cap in about 4 days. And at that time, there was only 2% of the supply remaining in the V2 pool. And that was prior to having the amount of burn it had. It had much less burn at that time.
What
So
was
when
kind
you
of the catalyst behind your guys' like launch run up? I mean, like that's like I'm looking at it. It sounds like you guys did everything right. Organic, fair launch, and then bam, 36 million. When everyone's just like, oh, nothing runs up on Ethereum. That's quite an impressive amount, especially when you're talking about like $19 million in volume. That's some deep bags running through there. Like, was it just an anomaly or what happened?
Yeah, honestly, I think it was kind of an anomaly. It was meant to be a fair launch where it dropped in a live space with a couple hundred people. The contract was out there. The contract was posted. The liquidity was added. Same with every project. Some bots got in early. They sold off, and it was kind of a slow roll on the first day or two. It was 200, 300,000 market cap, creeped up to like 1 million, had a pullback just like any other meme coin. The next day it was mid 1.3 million. Went to bed, woke up, 10 million. Went to bed, woke up, 18 million. Went to bed, woke up, 34 million. And it was really just the community kind of just rallied behind it. And I think the launch mechanism of that just wasn't common for a long time. And then not having like allocations out, not having KOLs, not having all that stuff paid for. The project's kind of controlling, not sending tokens out to be sold is kind of a big narrative on this project. In the same way, kind of tying into the funding and how they're rolling out exchange listings. And then even post launch, they had 6 exchanges in 2 weeks. So it rolled out hard. I've never been in a community like that where the project is just like organically just blown up like that, just in a couple days. There was no additional planning really besides the community just deciding that this was the play to run with.
That is an interesting thing because I mean, obviously, even on here, people came on and said good things. Usually that doesn't happen quite often. Okay.
Sounds like I ought to join your community.
There you go. See, AK, dreams do come true. Did you hear him? 3 days in a row, he went to sleep and woke up with fuller bags. Dreams do come true.
That was a nice change. It was a nice change compared to other meme plays.
But I think, so now y'all got a legitimate project, which means you've got legitimate problems. Not really problems, but I mean, ebbing and flowing with the market and kind of taking things on, keeping everybody satisfied. So, I mean, really cool stuff with the, exchanges, that's awesome. Got a market maker to kind of work that volume through and keep things in control. But, where do you go? Where do you go from here? You know what I'm saying? What does the next 4 months look like? What does the next month look like?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things. It was definitely like a blitz in the beginning where it just like rolled out. The team had to just kind of get everything going. So the exchange just got going. The market making partner got set up early to support the exchanges, and also the liquidity on the DEX side. And what's kind of going forward is there's a tier one exchange, kind of what's next, which is the natural progression after MEXC, BingX, and LBank, kind of the T1.5 exchanges. So a tier one exchange is going to be a big deal. And then after that, you kind of rack up a couple more tier one exchanges. And then the fact that we survived launch, we survived a retrace, we survived the market crash, kind of the flash crash, and we're still here and the community is, stronger than ever. I think it shows some staying power. So the goal is, you reach into different markets, which is where the speculative gold narrative comes into place, where a lot of their space is hosted all the time by the community. And a lot of times you're getting a lot of intelligent people, TradeFi people, guys who are into economics in those conversations. And it's almost like a mix of a learning space, but it captures the creative content of people as well. So it's an interesting blend. It's fun to be in there. It's not just, artistry. It's also the financial side. So breaking into those markets, I think, are important for this and getting out of the bubble. And then there's actually a lot of utility talk. I don't want to say for sure because I don't know everything that's planned there. But aside, tier ones are definitely being worked on and rolling out. I think there's maybe even a secondary market maker coming on board, which would also suggest some exchange partnerships and probably liquidity management on the DEX side, which this project has very thick liquidity for its market cap. It sits at about 700,000 in liquidity, all in V2 at 8 million market cap, which is thick. And then the utility, I think, again, I don't want to shed light on that, but there's functionality that could be done with this, and it being a representation of gold that's speculative really ties in well with the utility part too. So it checks a lot of boxes, in my opinion, on what could be done with it and where it's going.
How do you meme gold on the blockchain? I mean, I'm thinking about it. I understand the narrative. I understand metas. Like, how did you guys come up with this? And what's the plan for content? Like, what are you guys going to do to keep the Twitter active and satisfy the degens?
So there's actually a bunch of meme contests going on. So Addison can talk on a lot of that. He's actually the start of what started the 24-hour spaces on launch, and without him running with it, the community wouldn't kind of have formed, I don't think. But as far as gold goes, it can be applied to everything. The gold PFP rings kind of worked naturally. I think you can make anything gold. It literally being like the gold standard kind of as representation of being the asset that kind of can be applied to everything. You can make any popular meme artistry gold. You can add gold flair to anything. And if you hop on the timeline and just search bar or the gold standard, I mean, you'll see everything creative that's put out. And I'm more of a technical guy, like analytics and whatnot. I'm actually using Midjourney and Bing AI to make content for this, and I'm having a good time. It's a whole new world for me. That Addison can touch on the community aspect of the artistry, but it applies to everything, and it's easier than you think, in my opinion.
Yeah, you also have the gold standard being like a great counter meme to Bitcoin, like in Peter Schiff and gold, and the whole process of why we trade Bitcoin in the first place is because we went off the gold standard in 1970 and inflated the U.S. dollar to basically zero, which is the need for an alternative solution like Bitcoin and other good deflationary tokenomics. So that being integral into everything that we do in crypto, I think that has a really strong meme there. As in addition to like you can just turn anything gold or being the gold standard, being the best. There's a lot of different memes that you can create around this, and there's been a lot of people creating like songs and videos. I think we have like 13 songs made. I ran a meme contest. We had 147 entries, and then we have one being run right now between us and the Brainlet community, and then the main account is also running a meme contest. So there's a lot of content generation happening through the community, and it's been really cool. Been fun playing the songs on Spaces and seeing all the cool out of.
You mentioned the gold standard, like that line. It does fit very well. Like, is that something that you guys had in place? Did the community come up with that? Like, was it organic, or I don't know? I'm trying to trying to see how this thing happened. It seems like a perfect fit.
I think it was a little magic sauce from the dev team. I mean, it launched the day that the ETH ETF launched, and went live and the trading went live. So it's like poetic in the way that we're reestablishing the gold standard on the day that the ETH ETF went live, with good deflationary tokenomics, which can be a very good store of value token on Ethereum.
I also think it was a bit of a jab of the Federal Reserve moving away from it, in the sense of it's a meme coin, right? And then it just kind of, and it's just, yeah, it's intended to be just a gold a representation of it. So, but I do think it was a jab at kind of the Fed and how they moved away from the gold standard.
So you've mentioned like bar 777 for a bit. Like what, I guess what's the point of that? How does that fit into it? What's the inspiration behind that?
So yeah, there's two tickers. There's bar on the decentralized exchanges, and so it's just bar on Dex. On the
Mm-hmm.
centralized exchanges, it's bar 777. And one of the reasons was bar's taken.
Oh,
There was another ticker on bar, but there's actually Addison can touch on it, but there's a lot of hidden aspects and Easter eggs with 777.
Well, in the contract, it starts with OX 777, and there's also 7 sevens in the contract address.
interesting. So you guys are just playing on like, just numerology to kind of push it forward a little bit.
Yeah, just some Easter eggs. Like the dev supply was 7.77%. LP, I believe it was 11,777. It's kind of just everywhere. And when you look around, it's interesting when you start seeing
This sounds
repetition.
more acoustic than MTV Unplugged, and I'm loving it. Like, I love this 7 meta.
7 meta. That's an interesting play.
7 up. I'm liking it. I'm feeling this. He's cooking.
So I know we've talked about a bunch of stuff. Are there any like initiatives like in the interim that you guys are working on, that we should keep an eye on? What's the next like most immediate move for you guys?
So the next most immediate move is definitely a tier one exchange. That's like the full focus, to increase exposure and to get into different markets. I believe you need a tier one, and then the other things are really the community is driving. I believe they're setting up multi-sig. They're running with the content, and it's really like it's an interesting push where the community is driving, and then the devs are driving as hard behind the scenes. Even though they're anonymous, it's just as the community pushes, the devs push. As the devs push, the community pushes. So devs are going tier one, market making, actual chart support and understanding how to fund that. And then the community is just running hard with the content, wanting to create a community wallet. There's 5 chats I think actually set up. There's one general chat with a couple hundred people. There's an overflow chat from the first one filling up. There's a whale chat. There's a marketing chat. There's a creative chat, and there's a Telegram, and that's all just community formed. Like they just did this and ran with it. The team had an X page, and the team launched it. And then also the team, I think, is showing commitment in that they've put over 400,000 USDT through the multisig into this project and haven't sold tokens. Top holders are accumulating; they're not selling, and then distribution of it has been amazing. And it's rare to see a project where the devs are. I mean, they're throwing in actual cash outside of the project, growing this for the exchange listings, and they're not using token supply for the listings, and all that's to reduce sell pressure. And it's all that on kind of it's a meme coin, right? But there's I think that's what builds confidence in the driving force. And then, as the community picks up and gets wallets set up and gets activity and campaigns going on, yeah, the T1s and the market making and, chart support are definitely the big moves on the dev side in the short term.
What type of like with regard to your guys' negotiation with those larger exchanges, what type of timeline do you think it'll be until those go live? Obviously, maybe not. You could tease a little bit of a day, if you want. But how far along are those?
I mean, hoping for a week or two. It looks like everything's in place, and we keep hearing that. Some of the stuff takes time. I don't think the market crashing helped helped anybody, but yeah, I mean, a week or two, I think is the plan. I think it's in short order, and I think that's what you see if you follow the multi-sig on it. You can see a lot of the transactions gearing up for a much bigger play as far as exchanges goes.
mean, that's definitely a good sign. I mean, honestly, I think if you're talking a week or two, the CPI information came in good today. I think we're starting to start a slow march back up to a really good looking market. And now it sounds like rate cuts in September are a foregone conclusion. They're just placing bets as to whether or not it's going to be 25 or 50 basis points. So we'll see how that goes, because I would imagine, in my crystal ball, which is crystal clear, it's crystal clear as a rock. Um, I think you're going to start seeing that price itself in the market within the next couple weeks. So hopefully, we have better times on the way. Um, but, as we get, closer to the end of our show here, we've got a lot of people who obviously came in and sang your praises, so they're familiar with your project. But you have people like AK, who are like, wait a second, a project that I can go to sleep and I still have bags in the morning, draws his attention as well. And so one of the things that we like to ask here is, what are one, maybe two action items that everyone can leave this space today to directly support you guys?
I think the first thing is, if the community wasn't driving this, I don't think anybody would put support behind it, including the dev team. So I'd say get a gold PFP ring, hop in community chat, and then look at the tokenomics and try to understand the deflation and why this is a little bit different from what you've seen out there. So yeah, two things would be get in the community chats. It's an awesome community. It kind of breaks through a lot of the FUD and kind of there's a little bit of rivalry in meme coins, right? But the truth is, this movement is about everybody can have. We're all kind of in all the things, and getting in the community chat, you'll see the difference in vibe and support and engagement you get. And then when you combine understanding that and you get deflation, unlimited supply, and supply shock effects, you can kind of piece it together on why this is such a unique, why it's in such a unique position.
Oh man, absolutely love that. Everybody, make sure you are following at Gold Standard ETH. I mean, follow everybody up here for that matter, but follow Gold Standard ETH, follow Car Wrangler, follow Addison, check out their community, join the Telegram, see what's going on. If you like gold, I mean, who doesn't like gold? I think gold's a scam because it grows in the dirt. But when it's on the blockchain, it's not a scam, guys, because it is on chain. I want to thank all of the listeners for coming out, all of the speakers for coming up. We'll see you at the next Mario Nafal in the Roundtable Spaces. I hope everybody has a great day.